had to play last night to stay alive, and that's what the Tigers did as the purple and gold get another night here in Hoover. Defeated Oklahoma 6-2. Boy, it did look like an LSU team that, boy, if they could have done that during the regular season, no telling where they could have gone. Meanwhile, Auburn's had just another fantastic season. Back-to-back 17-win conference slates. First time they've done that since 1999, 2000. We have been busy all day. It started with Mississippi State against Missouri. Missouri got off to a good start, but then the Bulldogs, couple of home runs from Mr. Valencius as they would run rule the Tigers and advance. Meanwhile, Florida and Brendan Lawson just put on a show. A home run and a double as Florida advances as well. You want to talk about power? Arkansas brought it. 4 home runs, and they were all just monster shots as they move on as well. They'll have a day off tomorrow before they meet 2-seeded Texas. This is what our bracket looks like at this point. We got one more game to play to see who will face Texas A&M on Friday night. Georgia, Mississippi State tomorrow, as well as Alabama and Florida. Dave Neal alongside the mayor, Kyle Peterson. So glad you could join us as we wrap up day number 2. And KP, last night LSU looked like a real good baseball team. It has not been a real good season. But what do they have to do to keep playing here?
Well, I think it showed you what they can be. Yeah. And at this point, whatever has happened up to this point really didn't make any difference because they got to win them all right here if they're going to play in the postseason. Well, last night, it was a couple hours maybe they didn't think we're going to be out there. And it started with Grant Fontenot, who got the surprise start. He went 2 1/3. Gavin Guidry was great, 3 1/3. Then Devin Sheeran came on and finished the ball game in the final 3 1/3. 13 combined strikeouts on a night when they thought William Schmidt was going to pitch. But the key stat was a 6-2 victory that got LSU to this point. They'll go to Casey Evans today, when yesterday it was Devin Sheeran and that bullpen that they did the job. They need some distance out of Evans today. They need Casey Evans to be the guy that they thought he could be this year for this LSU team to play on.
Well, certainly when you can get that kind of production out of 3 guys and you get to bring out Casey Evans in game 2, you certainly give yourself a good opportunity. Meanwhile, this Auburn team, they've had a lot of opportunity. This might be one of Butch Thompson's best teams, and he's got a lot of dudes on this team, but Chase Fralick has been one of those biggest dudes.
It's pretty complete, and it's an offense that's changed over the second half of the year, and one of the main reasons is because of the guy behind home plate. Chase Fralick, second on the team in home runs. He leads them in doubles. He is their team leader behind home plate, and he'll call his own game. That's what he's done the entire year. He'll catch Jake Marciano today, who has had his moments this year, a guy that will keep it at the bottom of the zone, challenge this LSU offense.
Well, there are the numbers for Marciano, the sophomore. I mean, he has just been fantastic. Again, it's kind of strange to see a record of 4 and 5 with the numbers at a .98 whip, 96 strikeouts, and only 16 walks.
16 walks, and this is 15th start. I mean, that's how good Marciano has been on a night that is perfect for baseball in Hoover, Alabama, and it's perfect for 2 of the great teams.
Well, we'll take a look at this LSU lineup. The one thing that they have done, especially since Jay Johnson kind of tweaked some things about a month ago with this lineup, is they've been able to bruise some runs and some base hits. And Derek Curiel certainly at the top of that list, ranked as a number 17th overall prospect in the upcoming MLB draft. But it'll be Mason Braun to lead things off. Mason, first pitch fouls it off. 316 and 3 homers for the left-hander at the batter's box. South Bend, Indiana. That was one of the things Jay Johnson went to. He went to the young guys. He's like,
and he's stuck with them.
Yeah. That one is fouled again down the left field line.
You would expect this LSU offense to be aggressive because Marciano was such an elite strike thrower. I mean, there's no reason to wait and be in 0-2 counts, even though in this case Braun still is. But I think that they will not be afraid to be aggressive early in the count.
90-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. Opponent's hitting just .208 against Jake Marciano. Lifted in the air. That's going to stay in play. Guevara backpedals, but they give way to the shortstop, Brandon McCrane. He came flying in. Well, Jay Johnson, it has been a frustrating season for that man. Thought he built up a roster that could compete again for a national championship after last year's win in Omaha, but it never panned out. And he was not afraid to make some changes, admit that things just kind of went haywire and missed on a few guys. And he said he's going to fix it. There is still a lot of talent on this roster.
They can still do some damage now.
Yeah. Here's one of the guys that can, Cade Arambidi. He'll look at a first pitch strike. Cade on the year, 324, 18 home runs, and 51 runs batted in. Cade 9th in the SEC in home runs this year. 10th in the league in slugging percentage. Put together a heck of an SEC slate. Hit 343 against conference pitching with a dozen home runs.
Well, he went to Tennessee about 3 weeks into the SEC season, hitting 9th. And he had 4 home runs in one game against Tennessee, and then he was off. And it's been a very different Arambidi since then.
He's chasing this count. It's 1-2. Fouls it straight back. Those 4 home runs he hit against Tennessee back on April 5th. Obviously a school record, but he's only the 4th player in the SEC to ever do that. Slaps it foul. Arambidi will be behind the plate again. Omar Cerna, who is also a catcher, and both have been playing. One would be a DH, one would catch, but Cerna's had a bad back. But then last night, sliding into home, Omar Cerna gashed his hand badly and not available to play here tonight.
That's a big loss, because that's a freshman that has some real juice. He has found his way in the middle of this order. You can see Cerna with it wrapped up, and he got spiked and stepped on really bad coming into home plate.
Jay Johnson said, if you get sick looking at blood, you did not want to be in the tunnel. That ball's hit hard out to center field, but Bristol Carter is there for out number 2. Well, there's Butch Thompson now in his 11th season at Auburn. Boy, he has built quite the juggernaut down on the Plains. Trying to get back to the College World Series like he did in 19 and 22. And this is certainly a team built for a run, not just to get to Omaha, but possibly win it all.
I would agree with it. I think he's got a team this year that is deep on the mound. They've been some of the national leaders in pitching the entire year, and their offense has started to catch fire.
Here's a guy that's been on fire since he stepped foot on the campus of LSU, Derek Curiel, the sophomore. Curiel at 349. Watching him hit last night. He had 3 hits last night, a couple of doubles.
That was a bat-to-ball clinic last night.
He is one of the better center fielders in college baseball and has the hit tool to go with it. The only thing maybe that might, I don't want to say concern you.
It's just the power.
Yeah, exactly.
He can defend. He's got one of the best eyes in the entire league. When he swings the bat, he makes contact. Does it impact it as much as some other guys? No. But he can also do some other things that most can't.
Little chopper off the mound, and nice play. Inning is over as Marciano fields his position well. 1-2-3 frame for Jake Marciano. The best baseball tournament in the country right here in Hoover. LSU and Auburn did not meet during the regular season, but they get a chance here at Hoover to face one another. And a huge crowd here. By the way, the record crowd for a Wednesday night was an Alabama-Auburn matchup way back in 1998. Over 14,000. Here's Auburn's batting lineup tonight. Rembert, Freilich, Bingaman, Guevara, Bub Terrell. The McCrane brothers, Bristol Carter and Cade Ballou rounds things out. This is an Auburn team that is fourth in the conference at 299 overall in batting average. But as you said, the offensive piece of this is starting to look pretty good.
4 home runs in their first 11 SEC games, 33 in the 19 that follow. That's a reason why it is looking like Auburn will be a top 8 national seed. They're facing a real arm. And Kason Evans was a big part of the bullpen last year for the LSU team that won the whole thing, pushed into the starting role. And the numbers don't tell the story of the stuff. Now, ultimately, he's got to control the zone better than he has, and the big inning is what's really gotten to Evans this year. However, this swing and miss is better than anybody else in the league. So you can see the pieces that make you think, okay, if it clicks the way that you know it can click, Evans can go out and give you 6 or 7 really good ones. Just hasn't happened consistently this year.
Well, if LSU's going to make a deep run in this event, they're going to need Kason Evans to eat up some innings. Starts things off with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And if you'd have just seen Kason Evans down the stretch last year pitch, you could see why Jay Johnson was so excited to have him at the front end of this rotation this year. Ground ball. Stephen Milam plants that foot and gets the job done.
I'm going to tell you something, man. There's a lot of great shortstops in this country, and Milam's not going to be a first-team All-American, second-team All-American. If I'm on the mound, you give me that guy at shortstop every single day. He makes the play at him. He can go in the hole. He's got plenty of arm to finish it off right there. As solid a defensive shortstop as there is in the entire country.
Jay Johnson said he's probably the best shortstop in LSU history.
They had a guy named Bregman playing shortstop at one point, too.
They have run some dudes out there at short. Here is Chase Freilich, 320 on the year. Chase has got 13 home runs for the sophomore out of Peachtree City, Georgia.
The catcher's challenging the call of ball.
Well, it didn't take long for Cade Beatty. And he's on top of things. And that call will be overturned to a strike. So that's the 55th challenge. 33 have been overturned, right around 60%. And
it's actually exactly 60%, but that's okay. Right around it or exactly 60. It's okay.
Look, that's Stanford over there. This is Florida State over here. We don't want to be exact. We just need to be in the neighborhood. That's how we live.
Big-ish guy.
Catcher's challenging the call of ball.
Okay, it's back-to-back, and the dugout goes crazy. So based on my math, he's 100% so far. Exactly 100%
You're getting a little bit better at this mathing thing as the game goes on. I'm impressed with that one. Cade Beatty, 2 successful challenges, both on fastballs in this. That one just caught the bottom of the zone, and that overturn is good enough for a strikeout looking on Freilich.
You know, I do like the ABS. I like the pace of it all, but I also love the reaction. I mean, the dugouts are now invested in this decision.
Well, as this game goes on, the fans are really going to be invested in it. Because for some of them, I mean, especially if you're an Auburn fan, you haven't come to a game before this, the first time you've seen it.
Yeah. 2-0 to Ethan Bingaman. True freshman out of Redlands, California. Top 30 overall prospect in the country coming out of high school.
This cat can hit now.
Yeah, you just don't see many freshmen throwing in the 3-hole.
No.
Impressive numbers at 333, 41 runs batted in. But the inning is over, and Kason Evans getting a little help from his catcher behind the plate, but looking very sharp for LSU.
A couple of punch outs in the first for Kason Evans, and efficient. That is important tonight, too. throws up a 0 in the first on a low pitch count. A scoreless first on a great night in Hoover, Alabama.
Darkness brings with it weirdness. SEC baseball fans are legendary for their passion, but when that fervor is mixed with night fever, well, we're never sure what we're going to get. Just don't sleep through it. Oh, who are we kidding? The Vandy Whistler isn't going to let anyone sleep.
You got that right, Ryan. He has been here. Vanderbilt loses today, though, so they're going home, but the Whistler was here. And let's just say he was involved. The Auburn Tigers and LSU scoreless after one. LSU's only dream to make it back to the NCAA tournament, win it all here in Hoover. Oh, we got a little stoppage in play. Is Chase Freilich hurt? Oh, his thing broke. The way he was walking over there, maybe I think that something was wrong, but the technology piece. He's calling his own games anyway.
He is. But he's got to get the signal. Now we can do it again.
Stephen Milam has his average up to 300. He has reached base now in 34 straight games. Did have a 17-game hit streak for the middle of April that was just snapped right at the end of the regular season. It's this one out to center field. Bristol Carter will make the catch, and that'll be the first out. And now Braden Simpson. Braden Simpson came in DH spot after Cerna got hurt last night. The senior transfer out of Moseley, Virginia, 3 years at High Point University before coming to Baton Rouge, and he has put together a .277 season with a home run and 9 runs batted in. Playing in his 19th game of the season. Or 26th game of the season, making his 19th start. What makes Marciano so effective?
I think there's a few things. Because the fastball is going to be right around 90. But watch how he changes eye angle, and that you can't sit on one location. So he's already shown today the ability to stick the four-seam fastball in on the right-handed hitters. He just did it to Milam enough to get it off the barrel. Changeup against righties is very good. Controls the slider whenever he wants to on both sides of the plate.
All right, that sounds pretty complete. Lifted in the air out to right center. Boy, that was, I don't want to say misplayed because he made the catch, but Bristol Carter took a pretty random route to catch up to that baseball.
We talked about the home run so far in this tournament. The ball is carried more than we are used to seeing it carry, and it carried a good bit further than Bristol Carter thought it would.
Yeah, you talk about those home runs. 25 have been hit, and we're not even through the final game of day number 2. 25 home runs are the most after 7 games in the history of this tournament. Yes. John Pearson steps in, averaging 3.6 home runs a game. The record of 46 home runs was set in 2024, and they averaged 2.7 home runs that year. So you asked me earlier what I thought the number would be. 45 is what I gave you by the end of the event. But, I mean, the way we're going, it's going to be a lot more than that. You think we break through the 50 barrier? 46 is the record.
You got aces the next 2 days. So that could bring it down a little bit. 2-out single right there for Peterson, first hit of the game for LSU. No, I think that's a decent number.
50 or
45. I mean, I'll take the overs. You said the number.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
See, I love how you do. That's a good number, but I'm going to take the over, and I'll bet you.
I want you to feel good about yourself, but you're wrong.
And then where's your wallet? I've learned to keep it in the car when I'm with you. Jason Evans with a good, clean, crisp inning. Start off for LSU. Chris Stanfield now. Stanfield facing his former team. Young man out of Tallahassee, Florida, but spent 2 years on the Plains with the Tigers before coming to Baton Rouge 2 seasons ago. Started at center field last year, but it's just a matter of time before they made that switch because Curiel is just a center fielder by trade. Boy, last year's outfield for LSU was really good. They could cover a ton of ground. Talk about some of that pitching, but they could also handle it.
Yeah, that's kind of what gets lost in that LSU team last year is how well they did defend. They had 2 of the best aces in the entire country. The offense was real. That was part of the deal when Stanfield decided that he wanted to come back. Is Jay Johnson said, you know, Curiel's going to play center field, but you're going to play. You're going to play one of the corner outfield positions and make our outfield even better, and he's done it.
2-2 here to Chris. Fouls off another one. 3 homers on the year and a dozen runs batted in. Stanfield hit .298 yet last year. And that one misses inside, sitting at .234 this season. Been hampered by a little bit of a hamstring last few weeks of the regular season. Well, nothing else. He's making Marciano throw some pitches. He's up to 32 now.
Those are wins, too, if you're LSU earlier in this game. Even if you can't get to Marciano, you want to try to get him out of there sooner the better.
Ground ball to short. Brandon McCrane across the diamond, and the Tigers hopping off the field. We get a chance to watch one of the best third basemen in all of America, Eric Guevara, hitting .337, getting his bat out for the first time tonight. The 2026 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. It is a gorgeous night here in Hoover, Alabama. A huge crowd on hand at the Met. Boy, I went out there yesterday.
They let you in?
Yeah, well, there was nobody there. I just kind of jumped the fence at the time and got in there and take a look. That's a new addition to the Met here, and they have really over the years just kind of keep adding some great value to this building, which doesn't host a lot. I mean, this is the biggest thing that's in here all year. Of course, the Birmingham Barons played in here years ago, but now they play in downtown Birmingham. And it's been just a wonderful home for the SEC Baseball Tournament over the years. 28th consecutive year it's been here, 29th overall.
We love coming.
Yeah.
Every single year. This is, I mean, you know that the postseason is next, but I always look forward to spending a week here.
Eric Guevara's chasing this count, 1-2 to Eric, who has had a heck of a season, not just at the plate, but defensively. He has saved a bunch of runs for Auburn this year. He has played exceptionally well at third base.
He's a guy that actually played a little bit of shortstop. And since they've plugged McCrane in at short, Guevara made the move over to third base, made the left side of that infield even better.
Here's Pearson, a couple of hops and a throw over to first, and boy, heck of a stretch over there by Mason Braun.
This is one of those plays that I don't know if a right-handed first baseman can get to. It's an advantage of a left-handed first baseman that throws that side, because look, he goes all the way to the edge of the bag, and then that stretch, he can go even further with the glove on that side. May have been the difference in getting that first out.
Here's Bub Terrell. Bub with 15 home runs this year, the sophomore. Has hit 308.
Challenge in the ball call.
By Kate, Aaron Beatty. 3 for 3. And now Terrell behind 0-1.
You know, Dave, you talk about this Auburn offense and the power jump they've had in the second half of the SEC season. It's also impressive based on how young they are. This is one of the youngest offensive lineups in the SEC. Sophomore, freshman. There's not a senior in the lineup. I'd be shocked if there's another lineup in this league that doesn't have one senior.
And 6 of the 9 are either freshman or sophomore. Base hit for one of those sophomore, Bub Terrell. Curiel scoots it up in a hurry and will keep Bub over at first base.
Well, Bub can impact the baseball, and he lives in the alleys in the other way. Like a changeup there that's a little bit elevated. 110 off the bat right there for Bub Terrell. Drives it right back up the middle. First hit of the game for Auburn.
62 hits this year for Bub Terrell. And here is Brandon McCrane, a freshman shortstop. About the year he's had, 352. Brandon making his 52nd start of the season. He had a heck of a way to finish the season against Georgia. Bulldogs won the first 2 games of the series. This is slapped to the left side. They'll get one there. No chance to get Brandon. But Brandon finished up the regular season going 4 for 4. 2 doubles and 2 RBIs against the Bulldogs in that season finale. And finished up as the team's leader with that 352 average. And he'll stand at first base after the fielder's choice. And here comes his brother, Mason McCrane. Mason hitting .307. He's got 5 home runs on the year. Mason in a DH role. tonight.
This is one that I think next year you're going to see a really big power jump, because when you talk to this Auburn coaching staff, they rave about McCrane's raw power. But raw power and game power can sometimes be two very different things. And often that game power piece comes with more bats, and McCrane just a freshman.
There was a series. Auburn went down to Florida, middle of the regular season, and due to some injuries, they put Mason in the lineup. And I was talking to Gabe Gross, the hitting coach at Auburn, and he was like, I was like, so who should I keep an eye on? And he's pointing to Mason in the cages. And as he was saying that, he goes, his exit velocity, barrel rate is among the best on the team. They just couldn't really find a spot for him, but some opportunities happened, some injuries, and they got him in there. And then
he's not coming out now.
No. But in that game, he goes yard down at Gainesville in his first at bat, I believe. And I was like, oh, so that's what you're talking about.
Gabe knows his stuff.
But yeah, some guys just have that power aspect. He's got it. No one's ever said that about me. I was waiting. You're not going to.
It's not like one of those comments that you're just fishing for me to come back. No, David.
He's not.
I'm not going to do that.
There's Gabe. There's our guy, Gabe. Matter of fact, he was in TV with us. Ran him right back into baseball.
Yep.
Didn't take long.
It's funny how much he worked with you.
Boy, it's crazy to think it's been 9 years that he has been on that staff. Of course, one of the all-time great athletes to come through Auburn, former quarterback and All-American baseball player, made it to the show for a number of years and is an Auburn man through and through. .30 pitches now for Kason Evans. 2 down in the inning and a 2-2 count to Mason McCrane.
Auburn kind of doing to McCrane what LSU did to Marciano last inning. It's just foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Drive that pitch up a little bit. This next pitch would be the 9th, or will be the 9th of the at bat to Mason McCrane.
4 2-strike pitches have been fouled off. Lifts this one in the air out to right. Catch is made there by William Patrick. Broke back, but then had enough speed to catch up to it. So Kason Evans all smiles right now. Scoreless after 2.
There's a clash of clubs with championship pedigrees. That ball lays into left field. It gets down. Line The Tigers got it all going downhill right now, boys.
Iansenev's pounding the strike zone. He's the guy you want on the mound.
He's gone. That's 9 for Anthony Iansen. And that's it. Tiger Town is Title Town again.
Your defending national champions trying to keep their season alive here in Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. What a run last year for Jay Johnson and this club. 2 national titles in a 4-year span for Jay. Jack Ruckert looks at ball 1, count even at 1-1.
Ruckert, another one of those freshmen that's gotten a lot more activity and action towards the back half of the year.
Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana Catholic High School. Ranked as a #1 player in the state, top 100 overall. Wait. Every few years, LSU puts out some high-end high school talent that's just elite level.
I mean, that's the great thing about this program is it always feels like it's a balance of Louisiana kids and then all across the country, but there's always Louisiana kids in the middle of it.
Lifts it up left field. And the catch made by Guevara. But we talked about the national championship and what a great moment that was for the Tigers. But this season has not been one that they've been able to really celebrate. It has been a tough road to answer that championship. And it's just been, the pitching has been an anomaly for this group.
They just haven't thrown enough strikes. I mean, when you come down to it, they lead the country in strikeouts. So how about that combination? You lead the country in strikeouts, but your ERA is last in the SEC. It just comes down to they have not thrown enough strikes.
And they lead the league in walks. Boy, all 3 of the pitchers last night, including that guy, Gavin Guidry, threw some strikes. And they played well. Won 6-2 against a good Oklahoma team.
Yeah, I mean, a postseason Oklahoma team. Sheeran at the back end was lighting it up.
Here's the 0-2 to Patrick. That's fouled out of play.
So you asked earlier just about Marciano and the stuff. Again, that's 90 miles an hour. All 3 fastballs in this count have been inner third. He is not afraid of sticking a fastball inside regardless of velocity.
There's a strikeout. 2 down.
But it just creates more room for that, because if he's shown you that he can throw the fastball on the inside part of the plate, now we got to guard against that. So the minute that you elevate, it's a lot tougher. You're already geared up. I mean, he's throwing 75% strikes, so you know he's going to be around the zone. And the right time to elevate and go out of the zone. You're in a plus count. If he doesn't swing at it, so what? You go do it again, but gets his first strike out of the game right there.
Mason Braun, the top of the lineup. First pitch he sees. That's a base hit out to left.
A little left on left first pitch breaking ball right here for the freshman Mason Braun, and there's what it looks like to simplify. Just see the spin on the breaking ball. Don't try to pull it and roll over it. Just drive it out the other way. 2-out single right there for Braun. Both hits in the game for LSU have been with 2 outs, nobody on.
Cade Aaron Beatty. He will look at ball 1. shot down the line and right, and that'll get to the berm and right, and the scramble is on. Oh.
Good.
That is not for the weak.
No.
You will not see me down there.
No. No, I wouldn't let you.
Thank you.
To be honest with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I forbid
That's a
that.
friend. That's a friend.
Yeah.
A true friend. Here's the 1-2. Uh-oh. We're going to have another scrum. Did that one get to the berm? Everybody seems to be okay. Mason Braun at first base with 2 down. This one stays in play. High fly ball out to right field. Catch made out there by Cade Ballou. When we come back, we will visit with the skipper of the Auburn Tigers, Butch Thompson. And welcome back to the 2026 SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network, presented by Regions Bank. Dave Neal, Kyle Peterson, and down in that Auburn dugout is their head coach, Butch Thompson. And Coach, you've found a rhythm at Auburn baseball. You guys continue to produce wins. I'm just curious, when the regular season's over, does something have to change with your guys when you get to postseason, or do you try to keep it all the same?
I think it's the same. That's exactly what I told them, and I definitely don't want to come to this tournament and start training differently or try to confuse a young group of players, that's for sure. So if we needed to change something now, it means we wasn't doing something right before. So I feel like everything our coaches are doing and our tenets of what it takes to have success and win in this league and beyond is holding pretty true. So I'd like to see some of the same growth of a young team here in Hoover.
Butch, I love watching Jake Marciano, especially when he's got the stuff like he does tonight. But from your standpoint, what makes him so good?
Just fills up that strike zone with conviction. I mean, look at this 2-3-4 for LSU and everybody in our league, and he's driving the fastball a little bit. And, you know, I'm concerned because they're hitting the ball hard. It feels like they could have hit 3 home runs, and this big part swallowed it if they start getting down the lines. And then Evans, how special is this? And getting beneath us. So we got to make an adjustment, get up in the box and do some things. But these are 2 pretty good arms, a power arm and absolutely a pitchability lefty, one of the best going at it tonight.
Yeah, just awesome baseball. Great environment. Butch, we'll let you get going, buddy. Thanks.
Appreciate
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
He's been around baseball a long time. I mean, as an assistant coach, now head coach, and you know, he made his mark as a pitching coach and still involved. But he has built a really solid program at Auburn. I mean,
Yes, he has.
The foundation is going to be there for a long time.
Well, it took him back to Omaha when they hadn't been there in close to 20 years. Then took him again.
And 19 and then 22 went back. The foul ball. That's a nice spot to be right there. That corner seems like that's going to be the spot. And apparently a lot of other people feel that way too. Here's Bristol Carter, swing and a miss, and Evan gets the strikeout. Tigers dropped 2 out of 3 to end the regular season. Georgia goes into Auburn and wins the first 2, but the Tigers salvage 1 out of that series. But I mean, let's face it, hard to argue with these numbers we're throwing up right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a top 8 national seed. It's just, and to me, it doesn't matter what happens tonight. They've already built the resume to the point that I get a chance to play at home, not just one weekend, but 2 weekends in the postseason at a place at Plainsman Park that I hadn't been since they redid it.
It's awesome.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah. Here's Cade Ballou. Fouls that one back. You know, it's funny. We had Oklahoma last night against LSU, and they've got big plans for the ballpark in Oklahoma. And it's like after spending a year, they go around the league last year and they see these other environments, and they're like over at Oklahoma, like, hey, now we better get on board this train. So I've looked at those plans, and it's going to be fantastic whenever they can get that finished over there in Norman. And Skip needs it.
Skip's got him going, man. He has since he got there.
Here's the 1-2. Kason Evans is, well, you know, you don't want to say he's in the zone because that'd be kind of a little play honestly, on words, but he is.
I didn't talk to him before. Never do that to a starting pitcher. They're pitching, but this feels like the start that's like, who cares? Like everybody told me what it was supposed to be, and it really hasn't been. Now I'm going to show you what it can be. And first spin through the order, it has been.
Lifted in the air. Who's going to make the play? It'll be Derek Curiel, and Kason Evans with a little fist pump to get off the mound. Boy, he is looking sharp tonight. All smiles to this point.
You know, for the first half of the season, that's all we talked about. Pitching for Auburn, and it really carried them to the point that the offense picked it up. But it's a 1-2-3 punch that will rival anybody in the country, and it starts with the left-hander that we've seen tonight. I think it still all starts there for Auburn because of the way that they've pitched and defended this year, but now the way the offense has been, man, it makes them a legitimate national title contender.
I mean, they have got 4 really elite arms, and Alvarez, Marciano, Petrovic, and Sanders, all 4 in the top 10.
Well, and Sanders
in the ERA.
Sanders has been that guy that started, and now they've.
There's a base hit to start things by Curiel, and watch him turn the corner. He will slow it down, and it'll be another double for Curiel, his 3rd of this tournament. And it was funny watching him hit last night. He was banging it out to left field.
Yeah, it was a couple right down the left field line yesterday. He's just he's an incredibly complete hitter. There's certain guys that there's just a limited book on. Like, where am I going to go to get him? Sometimes got to get himself out. Well, he didn't right here. Fastball elevated inner half. 1 pitch into the inning, Curiel hooks it down the right field line. It's a gimme double off the bat. And now LSU has a leadoff man on for the first time tonight with a heart of the order to follow.
Stephen Milam. Milam looks at ball 1. Boy, Curiel, every time I watch him hit. 4 for 8. 3 doubles in the tournament. Milam Milam hit a 2-run homer last night in the 8th inning. That one just misses. Curiel, by the way, extends his hit streak to 10 games. There's a strike. 3-1 the count to Milam. These two teams have been playing baseball against each other since 1907. League didn't even start till 1933. And there is a walk, and Milam will be on. Nobody out, 2 on for the Tigers. And here comes Braden Simpson, who flew out to center field his first time up. Designated hitter, seen his average drop to 277. Chase Fralick, one of the elite catchers in this league.
So you talked about Braden Simpson, the transfer from High Point. Yeah. He had 22 home runs last year at High Point. His last 2 years at High Point hit 34 combined.
And squares up to bunt.
This year has 1. And so if you want to look at why there's been challenges on the LSU side, it's just some guys that they got out of the portal that honestly history said they should really hit. It hasn't happened this year.
And lays it down, and it is a good one. Fralick's throw to first on the money. Nice job by Simpson.
Well, that's the first time he's been asked to do that all year. And my assumption is with 22 home runs last year at High Point, he wasn't asked to do it then either.
No. Yeah, listen, he finished last year. He also, let's not forget, he finished top 10 in the nation in doubles last year.
I mean, he had a big-time offensive year, but that's listen, you love the home runs, and you love to see if maybe he can catch a little lightning in a bottle here when he's in Hoover. But yeah, that at bat right there, after you get the first 2 leadoff guys on, that at bat is massively important.
Here is John Pearson, the sophomore out of West Monroe, Louisiana. 2 came down the stretch, a little bit banged up, had a bad hamstring as well. That one is lifted out to left field. Bub Terrell is there charging. Here comes Curiel. There's the throw. It's not in time, and LSU strikes for the first run of the night. Sac fly from John Pearson, his 24th RBI, and LSU has the lead.
If there was such a thing as offensive assists, you would give one to Simpson right here, because you push Curiel up 90 feet. This ball wasn't hammered, but hit deep enough off the bat of Pearson. Somebody with the speed of Curiel is going to score every single time. An important first run right there for LSU, and they take the early lead.
And here is Chris Stanfield.
Good take.
Chris 0 for 1 tonight. As he grounded out to shortstop.
Catcher challenges the ball call.
Well, Chase misses that one, and Auburn will lose a challenge. They'll be down to 2. One 1-0 on Stanfield. Well, it's almost like that was so quick. It's almost like it didn't even happen.
And that's why I'm all in favor of it right now, because now we got a pace for a challenge that doesn't seem like it affects the actual pace of the game. Just think, though, how different this offense would look today if you have a healthy Cerna and a healthy Jake Brown.
Oh, I mean,
because you forget that you lost Jake Brown 3 weeks ago. That was, I mean, he's their best hitter. Jake Brown's going to be a day 1 draft pick.
That one's down. Jake still with the team. Just saw him in the dugout there a moment ago. His LSU career is coming to a close. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Marciano gets that strikeout. But LSU gets the run, and they lead it 1-0. Kason Evans has been super sharp. Can he keep it going?
At his best tonight. This is the Kason Evans that you know can go out there and dominate a lineup, and he's done it the first time through. 4 strikeouts to him. Excuse me, 1 look, 3 swinging. And David just looks like he's having fun. Like I get a chance to have at least one more start. I'm going to go out there and lay everything out on the line this year. Obviously, he'll be back next year, just a sophomore, but this is a different feel than we've seen at times from Kason Evans this year. And it's not just because he's gone 3 scoreless so far. It's carefree, and here you go.
And you can kind of see it just his
the
facial expressions. Yeah, he's smiling.
Look at the pace.
Yeah.
I mean, the pace is like he's excited to throw the next pitch.
8 first pitch strikes as he works to chase Frelick. Chase at .318 with 13 home runs. Can you get going too fast, though?
I think ultimately the way the pitch looks at home plate will tell you whether or not you can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That ball's hit pretty well. Stanfield to the wall, out of here. Chase Frelick for the 14th time makes it a 1-1 game.
A kid that's just turned himself into one of the better catchers in the country and the offensive leader for this Auburn team. They needed a spark, and they just got it right there from Frelick.
Ethan Bingaman steps in, and he looks at a first pitch strike. Frelick just looks like a ball player, doesn't he? I mean, he just exudes like, I'm here to play, I'm here to win.
He's going to be a great draft next year. Just a sophomore, not draft eligible this year, but yeah, left-handed hitting power hitting catcher that's called his own game all the way through and can really handle a pitching staff. Major league organizations like those guys.
Picked up his 43rd RBI of the year as well. Evans comes back 3-2 with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Swing and a miss. So after the home run, Evans gets the strikeout, but this is what Frelick looked like a moment ago.
Yeah, and Evans so far tonight, too, with that fastball, has been able to get it underneath the barrel of these Auburn hitters. That one leaked up. And listen, you still got to square it up, and Frelick did that too, but it wasn't exactly the location they were going. You can see the head shake right there, but Frelick makes you pay, and that's exactly what he can do.
Just the second hit of the game for Auburn. 3 hits for LSU. Eric Guevara with 11 home runs and 47 runs batted in. To the count. Guevara had a 17-game hit streak earlier this year. He'll be denied a base hit. Gloved over there by Mason Braun. Two down as Bub Terrell gets set to settle into the batter's box. He singled his first time up. Well, we've got an opportunity to talk to one of the stars from last night for LSU, Devin Sheeran. Ended up getting the save last night, working 3 1/3, and quite the electric evening for Devin. Well, Terrell with a big swing and a miss, 1 for 2. And if you didn't have a chance to see it, you wait for his highlights last night. You want to talk about a guy who brought some energy into the stadium.
He wasn't light on that.
No. Didn't make a whole lot of friends in that Oklahoma dugout.
I don't know that that's his role last night.
Well, and it should be about the fellowship, and I think we're missing that aspect of it.
Let's not get lost on the fella. There was fellowship, all right.
Yes, it was. A 1-2. Bub Terrell trying to hang in there, fouling off a couple of pitches. Can he do it again? No. Swings over the top, and Evans bounces off the mound, but he does give up a long one to Chase Frelick.
Bounce back, but this is the way the inning started. 1-0, no longer. Chase Frelick goes deep, his 14th of the season on a fastball that just a little bit up in the zone. We got a good one in the finale today in Hoover.
was for LSU, getting a big win over Oklahoma to stay alive. And Devin Sheeran coming out of the bullpen to close things out. 6 strikeouts, no walks of the 11 batters he's faced. And certainly an energized Devin kind of brought the energy last night. And we were just talking about Devin. Didn't make a whole lot of friends in the Oklahoma dugout, but that's not why you were here. Hey, listen, talk me through last night. I know you guys come in here. Everybody knows what's going on with LSU baseball this year. And as Jack Ruckert steps in there, you know, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, you got to play well here and win a championship to keep playing. So what was it like the few days before you got here to Hoover amongst your teammates?
Yeah, I think obviously things didn't go the way we expected this year, but we all, you know, we have one last chance, and every day we get a new opportunity to come out here and win a ball game and just keep playing.
Hey, talk to me about the transition from Mount St. Mary's to LSU, because it's a little bit different setup at each place, and what this transition has been like for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously the talent is a difference, and I think, you know, honestly, it's just the same game it's always been, but I think, you know, guys are just bigger, faster, stronger in the SEC, and it's just getting used to, you know, not being able to just throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball by everybody.
Well, it still worked pretty good last time, but what was your high school recruiting story? Because there's not a lot of crossfire guys throwing 97 that you know, it takes a year to get to LSU.
Yeah, so honestly, I wasn't really crossfire until after my ACL injury. That boy Rock.
They're going to get down now, caught out there. Yeah. In right field by Cade Ballou. But go ahead.
Yeah, so honestly, the crossfire didn't really come until after my ACL injury. I was always a little to the side, but yeah, in high school, I just didn't really play in too many showcase tournaments, and it just kind of stayed local. But, you know, everything works out for a reason. I was happy for my time at Mount St. Mary's.
But how does a guy from Pennsylvania end up at St. Mary's?
Yeah, well, so St. Mary's College is the one in California, but Mount St. Mary's, that's in Emmitsburg, Maryland. So it's only like, honestly, it was only an hour and 30 minutes from my place.
So in terms of getting to LSU, like when you go into the portal, are you, like, what is your thought? Like you don't know where this is going to end up. I know, hey, you're doing a great job, by the way, avoiding all that stuff down there. We see it coming on the cameras. But like, what's your thought? Like, what was going on when you entered the portal?
Yeah, so obviously I wanted to, you know, go play down south in a little warmer weather. So that was one of the main things. And then, you know, facing the best competition. And I took a visit to Georgia, and then I stepped on campus at LSU with Coach Johnson, and I just fell in love with it immediately. Like, it was just home.
Looks like you got a little new jewelry, too. I'm going to assume that you didn't have that last year.
Yeah, what do we got going on there?
Yeah, so it's just like our pitching staff chain. We give it out to a guy after each win.
Hey, tell him to Theragun your right arm.
Yeah,
you got to get the right one.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to do this, let's have some benefit out of it now.
Hey, so last night, let's face it, I mean, you were emotional last night. I mean, the energy level, the, you know, chirping, if you want to do that. You were even told to quiet down a little bit by our home plate umpire, Scott Kennedy, a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that what you need to be at your best?
Yeah, so I mean, like, this past month hasn't really gone my way, and I think one of the main reasons was just I was kind of just going out there, and I wasn't really being myself. I was trying to be.
Not going to offend us. You want to eat.
Oh no, I'm good. I just had some seeds, but yeah, I think I was just going out there a little too, honestly, a little too under. We call it primal or being precise, and like I'm just more of a primal guy. It's just when I'm at my best, and you know, it's not anything like I'm not really trying to get under people's skin. It's just kind of something I do to get myself fired up, and you know, good thing it worked out last night because we needed it.
What did Scott Kennedy say to you?
He just said calm down, and I just said kind of something like, you know, around the lines that they're doing the same thing. So then he said, I know, but just calm down. So after the 7th, I thought it was pretty chill.
It wasn't very chill, though. I mean, the way you pitched last night, it was quite impressive. Listen, it's been great getting to talk to you a little bit. Yeah, enjoy the run while it lasts.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you down the road.
All right, good talk to you.
He was really good last night. I mean, and
he's at his best. Yeah. Because it's just a look that you don't see. There's not I mean, he throws a foot across his body, and then it's 97 and on you right after that. You can see, I mean, 58 punch outs and 37 and 2/3. So the stuff isn't the issue. That's for sure.
The ability to hold his focus during that interview.
Yeah, plus, I mean, we got him a little rehab, too.
Yeah.
That may get him back a day early. I mean, that's the one thing to remember now. Whoever wins this game has tomorrow off. So if to me, it's more advantage LSU just because they got to win more games. But that would be a big shot in the arm to where you probably have a full bullpen ready to go on Friday.
Well, that combination of Fontenot, Guidry, and Sharon really good last night. Kept them alive. They got to win this whole thing if they want to keep playing baseball next week. Mason Braun fly ball out to center field. Bristol Carter comes in to make a catch, and another good inning for Jake Marciano and the Auburn Tigers, tied at 1 heading to the bottom of the 5th. Top 4 seeds. Alabama is your 4 seed. Boy, Texas A&M comes in as your 3 seed, playing some great baseball, and the Texas Longhorns number 2, and Georgia, the SEC regular season champs. They win 23 games, most ever for the Bulldogs, their first SEC regular season championship since 2008. Those 4 teams will trickle into Hoover, 2 tomorrow and 2 on Friday. The 2 Texas teams will play on Friday.
How about the stars that we're going to see for the balance of this? I mean, Joe's just those that were on those 4 right there. So already set with the exception of the late game, and now the late game's a little bit earlier than we thought it was going to be.
Well, we have just got an update because of some impending weather that our games tomorrow, which were supposed to start at 3 o'clock Central Time and 7 o'clock Central Time, have been changed. We will start at noon Central Time tomorrow with our first game. And 35 minutes after the conclusion of that first game, we will begin game number 2 tomorrow. But trying to get these games in, just 2 games tomorrow, 2 games on Friday. Part of a little adjustment when we went to a 16-team single elimination bracket. It freed up a couple of windows. That one misses inside. 1-2 the count. So we'll see you at noon Central Time tomorrow for the first of a doubleheader. There is the commissioner on hand, Greg Sankey. I think he's got a few things going on in his world.
I don't think he has a lot of boring days.
No. Base hit back up the middle for Brandon McCrane. Well, apparently Pete Thamel, our ESPN college football reporter, says to us, just sent out a text, if you didn't get it on your phone or your ESPN app, that Ed Ogeron has just been hired by Lane Kiffin to join the LSU football staff.
Really?
How about that combo?
Well, I was worried about it being interesting down there, so now that at least makes it a little interesting.
That'll give us something to talk about.
Yeah, he didn't have enough already.
Here is Mason McCrane, 0 for 1.
Brandon McCrane is a threat to run. 16 of 19 this year in stolen bases. Only Bristol Carter has more of them. Nate Yeske, the LSU pitching coach, will make the slow walk out right now. Not a lot of guys, coaches, players, whoever, that can say that they've won national championships at 2 different schools. And Nate Yeske is one of those guys. Won his first when he was a pitching coach at Oregon State. Then was with Jay Johnson for a period of time when Jay was at Arizona, and then won another one last year.
D1 Baseball has awarded him Assistant Coach of the Year twice. Having a little chat with our home plate umpire, Kevin Sweeney, as well. There is some activity just now down in that LSU bullpen area. Pitch count at 70 for Evans. Nobody out, runner on first, and a 2-0 count to Mason McCrane. That one's off the plate. When Auburn went down to Florida, they became the walking wounded down there. And Butch Thompson was running out of players, and he had a lineup with 4 freshmen playing on the road down in Gainesville. Mason McCrane, one of those. But Mason stepped up, went 5 for 13 in that series. 3 homers, 7 runs batted in. Named the SEC Freshman of the Week for his effort. Was hitting in the leadoff spot in the last 17 games of the regular season. Draws a walk there. And now you got him at first and second.
Well, and you got a guy at the plate that is the best runner that Auburn has. Bristol Carter is bunting here. Don't need to see any signs. He is bunting. Now, we got to make sure as you get an out, because if he puts it down one of the lines, it's enough speed to beat it out.
Bristol Carter trying to lay down the bunt. Mason Braun crashing from first base.
Yeah, this is where you force the third baseman. So in this case, John Pearson, to field the bunt. You want him to vacate. If he vacates, it makes it throw a lot tougher over to first base, and it makes it impossible, unless the wheel's on it. It wasn't there. Makes it impossible to get that lead runner.
Carter will square up again. Lays it down, but it's foul. Try it again.
I think he keeps it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the one reason you may not is just because Carter is the toughest guy on the field to double up.
8 sacrifices on the year to lead the team. Braun comes flying in, and then that catches a piece of the bat, and that'll be a strikeout. He was trying to get out of the way and getting good the bat down.
Well, and if you go look at that at bat, 2 of the 3 foul balls were balls. And if it's a sacrifice bunt, you're only bunting strikes. And trying to get that bat out of the way. If he does, there's a chance that ball goes to the backstop. But the last 2 foul balls were pitches out of the zone. It'll go down as a strikeout. And a big out right there for Evans that was just looking for one anyway.
Now here's Cade Ballou, the 9-hole hitter. He's behind 0-1. Ballou's grounded into 2 double plays this year. '94. 0-2. Good take there. It'll be 1-2.
Elevate right there, and the changeup that Evans throws is really more of a split. When he grips it, it's a split grip. He envisions it as a changeup. But after elevating with the fastball, not a bad time to go to it here.
Blue struck out his last time up. Evans with his 81st pitch of the night. .53 strikes out of the 81 pitches. Does he have another one to Cade Ballou? Yes. Out number 2.
A good location right here. Takes a little bit off it. Fastball was 94, 95. I actually think it's a slider based on what the spin was on it. But out away from the left-hander, it kind of acts like a changeup. Just stays all the way out there. And you can see the slider grip gets over the top of it. Wasn't exactly where he wants to throw it.
Yeah.
But in that case, got the outcome that he wanted. Now back-to-back strikeouts.
Big moment right here as the lineup flips back to Chris Rembert, a .345 hitter. He will look at ball 1. Aaron Beatty calling the infield in. I wonder if this was a Jay Johnson decision.
It could have been. I don't know if he saw something there. You go back-to-back strikeouts, and that was the split or the change that just missed off. But it could also be, give me comfort level on the split, give me comfort level on the slider right now. Which of those two do you want to lean on? Kevin Sweeney going out there and lightening things up a little bit.
Jay back to that top step. Doesn't look like he's going to make any decisions with the pitching for the moment.
That's a power sinker.
Yeah, 94.
Two of them.
Rembert on a 9-game hit streak, but behind 1-2 in the count. Little chopper. Going to be a tough play. Nowhere to go. The throw back to third. Oh, they threw it away. Auburn's going to be gifted a run. Rucker had a chance to get McCrane, but threw it away.
This is pretty heads up by the freshman to start. Okay. I think sped up on him after that, but heads up to deep the throw right here, and then immediately look at third base and see if you can get it. So spins. Here's the thing, you've got a little bit of time there. You already sold it perfectly, and you know McCrane's far enough off at third base. That's the one you don't have to speed up. It's a spot to where I think the game may have sped up a little bit for the freshman right there. You slow down, make that throw, you're probably out of the inning. Instead, now Casey Evans is out of the ballgame.
Boy, he pitched really, really well tonight. He's going to leave trailing 2-1. Almost got out of the 5th. 87 pitches, but he battled. and has given his team a chance. And now he'll turn things over to the bullpen.
He was really good early. Really good the first time through the order. Then Frelick runs into a home run, and that's one that he probably should have been off the field, but instead will exit down 2-1 with some traffic still out there.
Casey Evans did not want to leave this game as Jay Johnson was making his way out to the mound. He was just begging his coach, I got this.
Well, Jay didn't want to make eye contact right there. I mean, Jay came out kind of head down and already made his decision up. You love seeing it from Casey Evans,
Coach,
especially when it's been a tough year, man.
Yeah.
That's still in this spot when he knows we got to win to keep our season going on. He wanted to be the guy out there, but instead they'll go to the left-hander and really play matchup here against Frelick. If it's anybody but Frelick, Evans may still be in the game, but now the left-hander Ethan Plog comes off.
Swing and a miss, and that's why he's on the field. But you get that last thing that we showed you of Casey Evans. He's like, Coach, no. Had to. Second visit out to the mound. And you could just see by the reaction of Jay Johnson, he really didn't want to do it either. But felt the matchup here was ultra important if LSU wants to keep this thing right where it is. Frelick with his 14th home run of the year and his 43rd RBI. Runners at the corners. Fouled off at the plate. Rembert was on the go. Evans, by the way, finished up with 4 2/3, 4 hits, 8 Ks, and 1 walk. Here's the 0-2 on the way. Lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Ruckert backs up, and he'll make the catch, and the inning is over. But Auburn able to sneak a run across and take a 2-1 lead. to pick up the lead. Ruckert, I mean, as you called it, KP, a heads-up play, just a bad throw.
Yeah, it just, you see that sometimes, especially in big games, for kids that they haven't been in this environment yet, to where it's a great first decision, but then everything's sped up right away. When he's got a little bit more time to set his feet, make a throw over, maybe get the runner in a rundown, instead trying to make the perfect throw that gets away. And this is what you like to see. Gavin Guidry goes up after the inning, and some of this is just confidence build to say, hey man, we're still in this thing, let's go, and some reinforcement based on what happened.
How about Gavin over there being a good teammate, trying to get him locked back in. Cade Arrambidi steps to the plate. He can tie this up with one swing. Cade with a monster year at the plate, 18 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Top 10 in the league in home runs. 1-1. Marciano continues to work here into the 6th inning. Pitch count at 77. Hadn't been a whole lot of hard contact against Mr. Marciano. LSU with just 3 hits.
Well, he's walked just one. I mean, Butch Thompson said it when he came on with us. I mean, he's just a strike throw. He fills the zone up, and it gives you so many count advantages over the course of the game.
Out number 1.
He also simplifies the game. You just don't see that many left-handers even at this level that have the ability and the confidence to execute this pitch. They're trying to go fastball in against a guy that's got big-time power. And when you elevate, especially up and into a right-handed hitter, if they pull the trigger on that, they're not going to get to it. He may foul it off, but they're not going to do any damage. And a quick, efficient strikeout to start the 6th for Marciano.
How about their big 4 with Alvarez, Marciano, Petrovic, and Sanders? We told you about their all 4 in the top 10 in the league in ERA, and all 4 in the top 20 in the league in strikeout to walk ratios. 6-to-1 ratio for Marciano, 4.3 ratio for Petrovic, 4-to-1 ratio for Sanders. You know, it wasn't but a few years ago that Butch Thompson, toward the end of the year, he was having a tough time. He was really frustrated with the staff. They were walking everybody. He says, that's it. I'm going to find somebody who throws 85 as long as they throw it over the plate. And I look at this, what it has morphed into. Now we got a bunch of guys that all they do is throw strikes.
Everett Tieford's a pitching coach of this Auburn team, and I was talking to him a few weeks ago, and he said it starts with Butch because ultimately he's like, I don't care how far they hit it. If you're throwing it over the plate, throw the ball over the plate. We'll take our chances with the rest of it.
Curiel trying to bunt his way on, and that's just a baseball player right there. A double tonight. A well-placed bunt.
This is just knowing the game. You got a left-handed pitcher who's going to fall to the third base side anyway, so it's a tougher play for a left-handed pitcher to make. And then for Curiel, that's exactly what he's trying to do. Bingham, he cannot vacate right there. You've got to know that you got a left-handed pitcher and a really good runner, and the only chance, and I don't think they had a chance, but the only chance you have is if Bingham stays home. The minute he leaves first base, that's a base hit every time.
Stephen Milan again to the plate with Curiel on base. Curiel 5 for 9 this weekend. Milan 0 for 1 tonight. Walked. Curiel, by the way, has stolen 13 of 15 on the base pass this year.
And base runners this year are just 1 of 3 in stolen bases against Marciano. They have not tried it much.
Milam has now reached base in 35 straight games with his walk earlier. Monster giving LSU a little breathing room last night with the 2-run homer in the 8th inning.
He's got a lot of room on the right side of the infield. He's really dialed it up too the second half of the season. I mean, you look up and I mean, it felt like we were halfway through the season. I think Milam had 2 home runs. There weren't many at all, and now he's double-digit home runs. The average is back to 300 to start the day.
Four straight games for Milam, who had a 17-game hit streak just right toward the end of the regular season, but this could be 2. Rembert with the turn and a fist pump from Jake Marciano as he bounces off the mound. 2-1 Auburn.
Well, this is one way to erase an infield single. And positioned perfectly, the freshman McCrane, the flip to Rembert, on to Bingham, and 6-4-3 to get Auburn off the field.
Great look at Hoover Metropolitan Stadium, home to the 2026 edition of the SEC Baseball Tournament. Glad you could join us. So tomorrow, with impending weather coming later in the day, they have moved up our first, or actually the only 2 games tomorrow. They will now start at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 12 local here in Hoover, and 5 o'clock Eastern time, or roughly 35 minutes after that first game concludes between the Battle of the Bulldogs and Alabama and Florida. 2 really good baseball games tomorrow right here at the Met. Hopefully weather will stay away long enough to get both those in. And now LSU going back to the bullpen one more time. Zach Cowan grabbing the baseball now. Zach's another one of these guys where he's had some unbelievable moments, and some nights just haven't been his. He's 3-3 with a 5.5 ERA, but 50 punch outs in those 41 innings of work.
Yeah, he's really a strike thrower, and it's a guy that's going to live in the low 90s. The best pitch is a changeup, and it's a rarity because you don't see a lot of guys that throw right on right changeups or left on left changeups over 40% of the time. Cowan does. That is his best swing and miss pitch against both righties and lefties, with a fastball that he'll try to live more down in the zone with.
Opponent's hitting .275 against Zach. He started 5 games. This will be his 17th appearance. Marciano did a nice job getting that ground ball to get Auburn off the field, and with that double play ball. Now Bingham comes to the plate. By the way, Marciano, the first Auburn pitcher to throw 6 or more innings in an SEC tournament game since Casey Mize did it in 2018 against Texas A&M. That's a crazy stat.
Ever Tiford, the pitching coach with Marciano. There's nobody up in that Auburn bullpen. At least nobody moving quickly. I would think he's still in this ballgame.
Called strike 3. Bingham goes down. You said Zach was a strike thrower.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of guys that can execute a backdoor changeup.
Yeah.
It's not a pitch that you see thrown very often, but Cowan's ability to control that pitch was key. Bingaman just gave up on it because you just don't see that movement very much, and it came all the way back over the plate.
But now it's Eric Guevara, 0 for 2. His average has dipped a couple of points down to 333. Fouls that one off. 1-2 the count to the young man out of Panama City, Panama. Now in his 3rd season with the Tigers. I got off to a slow start at Auburn, just kind of fighting through injuries the first couple of years. And a healthy Eric Guevara is a really good baseball player.
Yeah, I feel like a guy that maybe doesn't get as much run, and maybe that's my fault, but that he deserves for what his numbers are. And he can really defend at third base. Beatty kind of boxed that one up a little bit. If he frames that may have caught a piece. What do we got here?
Somebody that really doesn't like Alabama.
Oh, it would appear that way.
Guevara was named to the SEC All-Defensive Team last year. They made 2 errors in the action that he got with the Tigers. And now it's full at 3-2. But heck, he had 331 last year. He's sitting at 333 this year.
It's just like baseball player, plug him in the middle of the lineup. You know that when they hit it to him, he's going to throw it to first base. Those guys are pretty important to have.
High fly ball. Deep left field. This one is out of here. A moonshot into the Hoover night. That ball was in the air for a very long time.
That's a pretty good piece, too, because he got a right-on-right changeup and had seen it a few times. That time he didn't miss it.
3-1 Auburn. Here's Bub Terrell. He looks at a strike. How to hit one out of here. That one is hit high in the air, but shallow center field. Derek Curiel will make the catch. That'll be the 2nd out.
Yeah, watch location right here for Guevara, and you can see it's that split change, this gyroing up there, so it's coming down. It just didn't go down enough. Stayed up elevated enough that Guevara could get to it. That one stayed in the air for a while, David. That had some hang time on it, but plenty of carry. 2nd solo home run of the night for Auburn.
Brandon McCrane with 2 down. Out to the right side. Rucker scoops it up, throws to first, and LSU off the field. But the deficit now is 2 as Auburn adds 1. It is 3-1 Auburn after 6 here at Hoover Met.
run. Eric Guevara's 12th of the season extends his Auburn lead. How about a 6.2-second hang time on the home run? That is the longest hang time of any home run hit in the SEC this entire year. I told you it'd stay in the air for a while.
I know, it felt like it's what I said. High into the Hoover sky. Let's see if the 2-run lead can hold up as we move to the 7th inning, and another exceptional arm on the mound now for Auburn. Part of their big four, Jackson Sanders.
And Sanders was a kid that was in the starting rotation for the better part of the first half of the season. When they made a switch, they moved Alvarez to the weekend. They pushed Sanders into a relief role, and he has been incredible in this role. He's a guy that when you talk to Butch Thompson about him, just raves about the selflessness to say, okay, I'll move. I'm fine moving off the weekend to this role. And when he comes in the ball game of the 7th, they're usually not going to bring anybody else in the rest of the day. For Marciano, he was great again. 4 strikeouts in 6 innings, walked just 1, and the hit count was low.
Braden Simpson, the first one to face him. Braden 0 for 1 today, 271 on the year. This Auburn staff, just how good they are. They are top 10 in the country in strike to walk ratio overall. Lead the country in that department. They lead the country in fewest walks per 9 innings. 3rd in WHIP, 7th in ERA, and 7th in shutouts. That's in the country.
Look out, because now they're starting to hit home runs.
Yeah. One home run on the year for Simpson. Did he go? No swing. Down there at first base, Scott Kennedy says, not on my watch.
Good call down there by Scott.
That's not the first check swing Scott's seen. Got him at the knees.
I would tell you this, and I don't know who has the ability to do it. I think it was probably a strike, but that's the one you may want to challenge just because of the big part of the ball game. Sanders so good at utilizing the bottom part of the zone, and then Frelick's doing so good at making that pitch look maybe a little bit better than it was, but Simpson does not ask for another look at it.
LSU has had some rallies here in Hoover. 9 wins in the SEC tournament when they've trailed after 6 innings, which is the 2nd most of any team behind Florida's 13. Still a lot of baseball left and just a 2-run game. John Pearson has a hit today, 1 for 1. 8 homers for John on the year. Pearson just hit 188 against SEC pitching this season. Jason Evans got the start tonight, talking things over. Marciano on the other side. Both our starters pitched well tonight.
They pitched very well, yeah. I do think, too, though, I mean, in this age of velocity and elevated fastballs, watching a guy like Jake Marciano work and have the confidence in the stuff that he has is really fun to watch, because he just simplifies approach and is not afraid to jam that fastball in.
A lazy fly ball out to center field. Bristol Carter makes the catch. 2 down.
And it just felt like tonight, if LSU was really going to have a chance, Evans needed a good one. Now, in an ideal world, you want him to go a little bit longer, but that is giving yourself a real chance to win a baseball game.
8 punch outs for Kason Evans and just 1 walk. Chris Stanfield 0 for 2. Kevin Sweeney's liking that low strike.
I think it's too late.
Yeah, you got to give it 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, you could see Stanfield turned and looked to the dugout real quick, and it was that pause. Kevin Sweeney said nope.
He pops him up right side. Rembert makes the catch, and the inning is over. Easy work for Jackson Sanders.
Offensive action started in the fourth. LSU had gone ahead 1-0. Chase Frederick changed it with one swing to lead off the fourth. His 14th of the year, tied it at 1. Then in the fifth, on a play that looked like it may get LSU off the field, a swing and bunt by Chris Rembert. But initially heads-up play by Jack Ruckert, and then ultimately the throw gets away. Auburn scores another, and they'd add one more on the solo shot by Guevara to start the 6th inning, his 12th of the year. So 2 solo shots, 2 of the 3 runs earned for Auburn. Stretch time in Hoover, they lead at 3-1.
Well done.
Next thing you know, I'm going to start reading your promos.
Have at it.
Thanks, Kenny.
I mean, look at this Auburn offense. 35 home runs in their last 20 games. I mean, that's certainly a massive change. But what was Tennessee was like 53 home runs in their last 20 games.
It was a huge difference over what it had been.
So both of those teams, as the weather has gotten warmer, balls have been leaving the ballpark. Tennessee heading home though after losing earlier tonight. That's sharply hit off the bat of Mason McCrane. His first hit tonight, he's 1 for 2. And in a game like this, I mean, you know, it feels like Auburn should be up maybe a few more runs, but it's 3-1 game. You're one swing from being tied.
You are, and now you're still squarely in that feeling of we want to add, and we'll see what Gabe Gross does last year. Remember, or this at bat. Last time Bristol Carter was up, they had him bunting with 2 strikes. Couldn't get the first 2 down. Couldn't get the third one down, struck out. Now let's see if he asks him to put it down again.
It just feels like Auburn's, you know, just been on the the aggressor here tonight. But LSU just hanging around. Zach Cowan's got to get him out of this mess with nobody out. Due up in the 8th. Ruckert, Patrick, and Braun, 8, 9, and 1 for LSU. They got to get out of this. Bristol Carter 0 for 2. Throw down to second is in time.
You know, I don't know if this happened, but Jay Johnson yelled into Aaron Beatty right before that pitch. And I don't know if it was be ready for a fake bunt steal. It may just not be a bunt, but ultimately that's what it was. Like, you just don't see this very often. He's trying to slash and have it act essentially as a hit and run right there. But that pitch too far off the plate that Carter couldn't get to, and then a good job by Aaron Beatty to throw him out. And that's a jump in that situation that McCrane is waiting. It's not a straight steal jump. On a hit and run, it's you got to make sure you're not going to get picked off. And so if that ball's not put into play, a lot of times you're done.
Watching that play made me think of the pitch out. And you don't
see it anymore. Isn't it crazy?
Why is that?
I don't know, but I also don't remember. I don't think I've seen one all year. And that kind of acted like one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what made me think of it. The 1-2. Did he go? No, says Scott Kennedy again.
Did you see Bristol Carter on that? Made his own call, pointed down to Scott Kennedy and said, no, I didn't. I'm just going to help you on this one. Just going to give you a heads up right afterwards. Nope. No, did not. Didn't do it.
That is great. He went that time. Well, that's a nasty pitch from Zach Cowan. 2 down.
That's that changeup. And when he gets it going like this, it's got some horizontal run, but you can see that gyro spin to where the seams are going side to side. And when you get the seams going side to side like that and he turns it over, gravity just shoves that thing straight down. And that's what makes that changeup so good for Cowan when he gets through it like that.
2 down in the inning now for Cade Ballou. And it hit him right in the thigh. Our home plate umpire there, Kevin Sweeney's like, get down to first base. And he goes, I can't feel my leg.
Just got a Charlie horse and a hamstring. Give me a second. I know where to go. Ooh. Back of the knee.
He says, I'd like to go to first, but I can't really move.
Trying to feel my leg.
So here's Chris Rembert. Lineup will flip over for the 4th time tonight. Actually, the 3rd time. Didn't flip to start the game.
Accurate.
1-0 to Rembert.
I wasn't even going to call you on that. I wasn't going to say anything.
You've made
Just
me
called
so
yourself.
paranoid.
I think you're doing great.
Thanks.
Now give me the reads.
Throw back to first. Auburn finished up 17-13 in the league. Back-to-back seasons with 17 league wins. First time Auburn's been able to do that since the 1999-2000 season. Auburn's 32nd appearance in this tournament. Of course, everybody coming to the tournament now, but a number of years that wasn't the case. There's a strike, 2-1. Got him. Good work from Zach Cowan, and now LSU down 2. Got to get some base runners. Ruckert, Patrick, and Braun. SEC Baseball Tournament on the SEC Network is presented by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC. Well, I felt like tonight we were going to have a huge crowd. And it's exactly what I suspected.
You nailed it.
I nailed it.
That was really going out on a limb, too.
Yeah. It is the largest Wednesday night crowd in the history of this tournament. You saw over 14,000 and the 4th largest overall for this LSU Auburn nightcap. Edward Yamin will grab a bat for the LSU Tigers as he will hit for Jake Ruckert as we move to the 8th inning. First pitch from Sanders off the mark. Yamin hitting .225 on the year. His 29th appearance. 9 hits, couple of doubles, 2 home runs. This one out in right center. It'll be caught there by Cade Ballou, and that'll be out number 1. You know, we've talked about this Auburn team and really how just they've morphed into this really balanced group.
Yes.
But what does it say about Georgia after having won the regular season already? They go to Auburn, full house on the road, and they win the first 2 games and take 2 out of 3 from Auburn.
It says Georgia's really good.
Yeah.
That's what it says. And I think both of those teams are teams that are capable of winning the whole thing this year.
Here is Zach York getting an AB. Zach hadn't played a whole bunch here in the last month of the season. One of those changes that Jay Johnson was making. A .228 hitter with 6 homers and 19 runs batted in. .6'2", 295. The transfer from Grand Canyon. Chases one out of the zone. It's 0-2. In his 3 years at Grand Canyon, hit .328, 32 homers, 157 runs batted in. Three pitches, 3 strikes, 2 down.
You've seen a lot of examples why Jackson Sanders is so important to this Auburn pitching staff coming out of the bullpen. Left on left, good luck. I mean, it's that low 3/4, kind of slings it, almost sidearm look. And when he's controlling that slider, which he did back-to-back times right there to York, there's just not a lot of guys that can do a whole lot with it.
Up and in on Mason Braun. Mason 1 for 3. Popped up a couple of times and singled in the 3rd inning. That's a tough ask for Zach York. You see him shaking his head, but been sitting there for the last 4 hours, and then hey, grab a bat and go try to get a hit off this guy.
Yeah, not exactly a comfortable ask right there.
Oh, that one catches Fralick.
That's right on the ankle. Oh, no. At least it caught a little bit of the shinning, but it caught plenty of the top of his foot. That's a dude you want on your team.
So Sanders will toe the rubber again on a 2-2 pitch to Mason Braun. That one's lifted out to left. Plenty of room to work with for Bub Terrell, and he'll make the catch, and the inning is over. Heading to the bottom of the 8th. Auburn leading it by 2. Well, the LSU Tigers 30-27 on the season, but last year posted a national championship. Got to host the Wood Trophy up over their heads. Started the year ranked 2nd in the country, and the thing started to spiral out of control early. And then when Jake Brown went down, it just magnified the hill that this team had to climb. 21 conference losses. Most since joining the SEC way back in 1933. And you wouldn't know it by the 2 games here in this tournament, but the one area that really let them down was just any consistency out of that pitching staff.
Yeah, they did not throw enough strikes over the course of the year, because when they get in 2-strike counts, they can make you swing and miss as well as anybody in the entire country. They just couldn't get there.
So Zach York checks into the game at first base after a pinch hit. Trent Caraway moves over to second base. He just checks in. Braun moves out to right field, and easy ground out. Chase Fralick is retired for out number 1.
You know what, man? This is really classy by Jack. because I understand that the transfer guys, a lot of them didn't pan out the way that they wanted. Zach York was one of those. Trent Carraway, who's now in the game at second base, was one of those guys. This also may be the last time that they're on a baseball field. And I think it's cool given everything that's happened over the course of the year, and obviously there's plenty of disappointment, to get them in a game today at some point. That is a lot of feel in that dugout.
Here is Ethan Bingaman, 0 for 3 today. High chopper right back to Cowan. Underhand toss to York, and that'll be out number 2. Well, this is what happened back in the 6th inning from Eric Guevara. How long did this ball hang in the air?
6.2 seconds. It's the longest hang time of any home run in the Southeastern Conference this year. Still just counts for 1, but cool.
Didn't clear that fence by much. The guy just hit a home run, bunts it to third, gobbled up by Pearson, safe. Really good play on both ends. Pearson handles it well with the bare hand, but just a fraction late.
Yeah, I don't think you're expecting that one if you're LSU on defense. After Guevara goes deep the last time, and you can see how far back Pearson was right there, because there's no part of anybody that's expecting that Guevara lays it down right there. It's not perfect, but it's down that third baseline, forces Pearson to make a perfect play, and even at that, I think Guevara probably beats it out.
So a 2-out hit for the Auburn third baseman. Bub Terrell steps in. He's 1 for 3 today. Beatty, Curiel, and Milam coming up in the 9th inning for LSU. One and one the count. Arkansas beat Tennessee earlier today. 4 home runs, and nothing cheap about any of them. I think they range from 109 to 116 off the bat. Those 4 home runs. Zach Stewart with 2.
All well over 400 feet.
Second strike. Well, that's a good pitch. Bub Terrell wants to challenge it.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
Oh, by the lace of the baseball.
Clipped it. That's all you got to do right there.
Aaron Beatty, Curiel, and Milam trying to keep the season alive for LSU when we come back. tournament streaks in Division I baseball belong to Vanderbilt, Florida, and LSU. But Vanderbilt and LSU might be, those streaks might be coming to a crashing halt. Vanderbilt still with an outside shot, maybe. I mean, maybe. KB, you tell me.
There is a shot. I think it's very outside, but LSU would not if they don't win tonight.
Meanwhile, Florida keeps plugging along. What's Corb's going to do? 19 straight years he's been in some sort of NCAA postseason. It's going to be weird for him to be off next week. Something tells me he may not be playing a game, but he won't be off. Out to center field off the bat of Aaron Beatty, and that'll be out number 1. Derek Curiel has been fantastic here in Hoover this year.
You know, and there's some guys you just wish you had another year to watch at the college level. A draft eligible sophomore, which LSU knew when they got him. We'll take our chances. Well, he helped them win a national championship, and this year had a very good offensive year, but we'll hear his name called pretty early in the draft.
Sure. We're just trying to ice Sanders, who's been just cruising around.
There gets to be a realization of what is potentially going on. Curiel's draft eligible sophomore is going to go high enough. I'd be shocked if he comes back to school. Milam's going to be a really good draft. I'd be shocked if he comes back to school. And you're going up there desperately trying to keep your season alive, but you also know the reality of this could very well be the last at bat for each one of those guys wearing this uniform.
Curiel with 5 hits in 2 games here in Hoover. He looked at a first pitch strike from Sanders.
I'm going to give Berkey credit on this one because I think he was the first one that said it. Curiel reminds us of Stephen Kwan.
Yeah.
Who is having a great big league career, and I think, you know, based on where he's probably going to get drafted, you would be thrilled to have a Stephen Kwan career in the major leagues that, you know, still has plenty of time left in it. But he is that type of player. The bat to ball, the ability to make contact, the ability to defend. Kwan's a big-time defender, Gold Glove winner.
In there for a strike. I agree with everything you said, with the exception of the part where you said I've got to give Berkey credit. You almost lost me right there.
Yeah, I almost lost myself.
1-2 on Derek Curiel. Stays inside, 2-2. Sanders kind of chuckles, but Fralick, who has been good challenging wise tonight, didn't think that one was a strike. Did he go? No swing. Let Fagan down at third. It'll be 3-2. I feel like this is a really big pitch. Keep him off the bases if you're Auburn.
I mean, you're a bloop and a blast away from tying this thing up, and the feeling in both dugouts being totally different. And Curiel is the guy that can do that. He's generally not going to go out of the zone. The bat to ball is through the roof good, and Milam, since he stepped on campus, has had a knack for doing big things in big moments. He may get a shot to do it again.
Curiel wants to challenge, but right now it's a strikeout.
Batter's challenging the call of strike.
That too looked like a pretty good pitch. It's a ball. Ball 4 as it is off the plate. That's a guy that understands the strike zone.
As well as anybody in the country. Now it gets interesting. Here's the other thing too on the ABS, you can't, I don't think he went, but the hand started. You can't challenge the check swing either. If it's originally called a strike, you can't go say, well, never mind, we want to see if he went around. In that case, no. So Curiel giving this Tigers team hope with Milam stepping to the plate.
Did you see what he said after the challenge was victorious for him? He says, I know the zone.
Well, he's right.
And now he stands at first base, and Steven Monster Milam, who hit a 2-run homer last night in the 8th inning, cleared the right field fence. And this is what it looked like last night.
Yeah, this was from the other side of the plate. Milam, the switch hitter from the left side last night. That was home run number 11. Home run number 12 would keep this LSU season alive.
Home run in 4 straight games. Can he make it 5? Looks at a first pitch strike. It's 0-2. Just 1 out in the inning. Simpson on deck, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Ground ball out to short. Can they turn it? Not in time. Milam gets down the line, but Curiel is retired. That's 2 outs in the inning.
Kind of similar to Milam's last at bat. Chokes up with 2 strikes. It's a ground ball to short. The only difference here is they don't double him off. They double him off right there. That ends the ball game. Instead, Milam beats it by about a half step down to first base, and LSU's not done yet.
Simpson 0 for 2. 1 home run and 9 RBIs on the year.
Again, this is the guy that hit 22 last year at High Point, so it is in there. First time that he faced Sanders today, he struck out looking.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Auburn. Excuse me, 2-1. Auburn. Last time they won this tournament was back in 1998. It has been a long time. High in the air. Is he going to stay and play? It is in foul territory. There's a lot of room over there, and it's about 3 rows back. Now it's 2-2.
Just foreshadowing, that's all.
That's it. Don't forget tomorrow, Battle of the Bulldogs. Mississippi State and Georgia. Georgia went into Starkville and swept Mississippi State earlier this year. That game will start a new time because of some weather at 1 o'clock Eastern time, noon here in Hoover. Again, the 2-2 to Braden Simpson with Milam over at first base. Starting to rain a little bit here at Hoover. Fans starting to move under the overhang. Got him. Simpson wants to challenge it.
The batter is challenged to the call of strike.
It's a ball.
Wow.
And now they're at first and second with 2 outs. And here comes big John Pearson to the plate.
That's why you save them. It's been 2 pretty important ones in this inning.
What in the world was that?
Pinch runner. Jay was trying to get a pinch runner.
Boy, that was late, though, was
late.
it not?
Yeah, and I think that's what you're going to hear from the Auburn dugout right now.
Daniel Harden will pinch run, and Butch Thompson is livid. I don't blame him. I mean, by the time that ball was across the plate.
It was definitely out of his hand. Yeah, it was definitely out of his hand.
Daniel Harden again over at first base. Milam is at second. There's 2 out for John Pearson.
And this is where in the outfield for Auburn, and I know the ball's been flying here, but you got to make sure nothing gets over your head. Ball in the gap right here. Now the grass is a little bit slick. Could skip right past him and allow that base runner to score from first.
That's a strike. Pearson 1 for 2 today. Had a single back in the second inning. Boy, Pearson tried to give LSU the lead with that swing.
And if you're Sanders, if you can execute that same pitch, that's exactly where you want to throw it. Start it over the plate and bury it on that back foot. See if you can get another swing and miss.
Pearson hit the deck.
I think he caught a piece of that on the foul ball. Right off the top of his foot.
The wind has certainly picked up here in the last couple of minutes. Old Glory down the left field line is blowing briskly in that direction. Pearson can get one up in the wind stream, but he's behind 1-2. Fouls another one off his foot.
Well, now it just becomes, can Sanders keep executing that to the spot that he is right now? Because I'm not sure that Pearson can keep it fair, nor does he really want it in there at this point, because his entire left leg is screaming at him. But if you miss out over the plate, that's the one that Pearson can get to.
Misses badly on the 1-2. It's even at 2-2. The LSU season in the hands of John Pearson right now. Fouls off another one.
They're fighting, man. They are fighting.
Chris Stanfield is on deck. 8th pitch of this at-bat on the way. And now it's full at 3-2. You bury another slider back there, KP?
That's what he lives and dies on, man. I think he just danced with one that brung you right now.
Ground ball underneath the glove. There's McCray across the diamond, and this one is over. Auburn has come to Hoover and won their first game, and perhaps ended the season, or did end the season for LSU, as they give up just 4 hits to the Tigers in their 31st game this year, allowing 3 or fewer runs. That is an amazing statistic for this Auburn pitching staff.
And they played clean baseball. They didn't make an error. They hit 2 solo home runs. The last ended up being one of the big differences in this ball game. And obviously a season that I don't think anybody saw coming for LSU. Likely, well, not likely, does come to an end right now. How about all chalk in the quarterfinals to get this thing going? That's going to be fun.
There's some really good baseball teams moving on to the quarterfinals. It'll start off tomorrow with Georgia and Mississippi State, again at 1 o'clock Eastern and noon Central, with the Battle of the Bulldogs. So for Kyle Peterson, the rest of our crew, hope to see you here at Hoover tomorrow. Time to get you the SEC Now crew. Here's Dari, David, Todd. Take it away, guys.